Hey guys, very exciting. How often do I and do you get to speak and to have the presence of a Starfleet captain? I can't think of any, to be honest. Okay, so that's what we're going to have today, and he is Captain Stan Houston, and I'm going to bring him on right now. Let me coordinate stuff. Okay, ready? Energize. Captain Houston, welcome. How you doing?
Hello, hello. How are
Very
you
good.
doing, sir?
Well, I'll tell you, I never get used to. I mean, look, I'm not as bad as Bones. Dr. McCoy, I should say. Look, let me give him his respect, Dr. Leonard McCoy. But
He's a fine doctor,
he
one of
is.
the best physicians in the fleet.
Oh, definitely. But you got to admit his let's how can we say it generously? His predilection for using shuttlecraft more than the transporter. So yeah. So I never get used to it, the transporter myself. I do use it, but I'm sort of like a McCoy. What can I say? I admit it.
Well, our medical facility on the Dauntless was directly influenced by Dr. McCoy's work on
Really?
shuttlecraft transportation of patients.
Oh wow! Oh, what I'll tell you. That's the thing. You say, well, a doctor, chief medical officer of a starship, but what do they exactly influence? Yeah, like meaning, of course, that's important for that vessel. But then to see that you're saying his talents and his skill set, his experience transformed and transferred over to you guys, right?
He wrote most of the doctrine we still use today.
Very nice. All right, so all his sort of input and his sort of algorithm, so to speak, and yeah, very
Absolutely.
cool.
He was nice enough to
Right.
record all of his adventures, all of the things he
Mm,
learned along the way, and pass it down
mm.
to us to put into use for the
And that
future.
was many. That was many on the Enterprise. Whoa,
Yes, sir.
come on. I mean, like they say, right? What do they
When
always
I
say?
was in the academy, it was a
Ah,
whole 2 months we spent learning about him.
I was just you stole my words. I would say, what do they say? The required reading at the academy, the required reading,
Absolutely.
and that's
They're
that's
very
a fact,
strict about it.
Jack.
They're
Yeah,
going to
you know
throw
what?
in some questions, and you
Yeah.
better know the answer.
Well, now you put me on the spot. You putting the host on the spot. All
No,
right.
no, no. It's my job to know it,
Hey,
not yours.
hey, you know what? Look, that's how we keep nimble and limber, right, and sharp. So I'm not afraid of
Absolutely.
it. I don't know if I'm going to pass, but so let me ask you. So I can't quite remember. Is it Constitution? Like what's the vessel class? I can't recall.
The vessel, it runs on impulse. It can go up to warp one. What we
Mm.
do is patrol a sector near, like where I'm at, Starbase 39.
Oh, I see. So
There's
it's not a deep research or deep vessel.
no. It
Yeah.
works in an NAO, an area of operation,
Mm,
and so
okay.
contracts will come into the space station
Mhm.
about a nearby harboring fugitives and stuff, and
Oh, now
we
you're
go
talking.
down there and we intercept the guy. We bring him back to the starbase, and he gets transported to face justice for his crimes.
Wow, I love it. The idea of what Starfleet has done in terms of exploration, but then of course, peacekeeping and keeping order. And hey, that's a responsible. How long now? A couple years you've been? Well, how long is that?
About
Mm,
four.
wow. So you're getting to the fabled 5 year, which I know everybody. 5 year
Absolutely,
mission.
absolutely. Hopefully, there's
Yeah.
another promotion
Hmm.
coming up.
Yeah. I wonder why that is.
get get
Oh
that
yeah.
admiralty, you know.
I was gonna say, yeah, but I wonder why that is. I've always heard, like, obviously with the fabled Captain Kirk, the idea in the Enterprise goes without saying, the 5 year, right? That's always bandied about as if that's like the magic number. I,
Gotta
I get it. I'm
stop you
not
there.
even
Not
kidding.
fabled. The dude's a
Yeah,
legit captain.
yeah, yeah.
He
But
runs a
I'm
tight
saying the
ship.
five
He's the no
year.
tolerance
Yeah,
kind of leader. I
right.
know some of the books and material on him have covered him in
Mm,
such a manner to where he appears kind of weak minded and
mm,
uh, not very hard in his decisions. But
or
I
a
can
little too
assure
much.
you,
Yeah,
when
a
it
little
comes
too
to the
much.
mission, no one
Yeah,
takes it more
yeah.
professionally than him, and
Well,
we should all be
right,
inspired to do our
right,
jobs
right. Well,
to such a standard
yeah,
as he was
the
held.
great the biggest complaint, the biggest criticism, I'd say they say cowboy diplomacy. He's running around with the Enterprise and the phasers and the photons. I'm Captain Kirk. Again, that's not me. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, yeah, I've heard it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, what I'm saying is, like, it's fine if you don't know, or rather, I'm just putting it out there. What do you think that 5-year mark is? Is that, like I said, you're 4, and I said, oh, you're getting to the 5-year. You think
The 5-year mark, you go under review. They start looking at your 5-year mission. What have you done? What have you done to fix problems you may have had on your tour? Are you displaying the proper etiquette and professionalism that is expected of a Starfleet captain?
Right.
And if those questions come with the answer yes, then you are in the rung to reach that admiralty, which is a very coveted position that not many people get offered in Starfleet.
Right. So it's ultimately,
you got to be the best of the best.
Best of the best. So it's ultimately sort of like the ultimate performance review, the ultimate.
Absolutely.
That makes sense. I mean, again, because I've always heard that. And as a civilian, I'm just a Starfleet journalist. I'm just a UFP journalist. What can I say? I'm not a member of the fleet.
Normally we don't like to tell our business to the press, but since you've got
I'm kind of nosy.
You've got apparently some people that that's why we're having this interview.
Got some connections. Thank you.
You do.
I do.
And your journalism, by the way, and coverage of our efforts is top notch.
Yeah, no greater accolade. I appreciate it. But again, that's the thing with I mean, Kirk obviously is, come on, dare I say, icon legend at this point, sure. But what I like is that what you guys do, very, very invaluable service and function.
Absolutely,
you're not out
absolutely.
There the
they can't do theirs if they're worried about what we're. We still have to apprehend bad guys. There are bad guys in the universe.
Yeah.
And we have to take care of that, so those big ships and those big commands don't have to waste their time with it. But it's vital. It's important to Starfleet. It's important to the United Federation of Planets.
How about now? This is a great one, because I said the Klingons, not meeting the Klingons, but obviously some of these bad guys, some of them are aliens. I have
unfortunately had some run-ins with Klingons.
Yeah, I was going to say, so they're definitely someone that you've encountered before.
We are very much on top of. We are on top of the situation with the Klingons. That's about all I can divulge about that.
Say,
there's a lot of a lot of stuff I'm not able to
right. But it's called security
disclose at this moment. It's still confidential. It's still a plan that's in the work.
Right, and I don't got the security clearance, and my viewers don't. Well, some might, but yeah. But it's fascinating. Now, let me ask again. To me, some of the tech, of course, I'm a big techie.
Yes.
Yeah, I just love it. So do you guys still use from what I've always known, the Briggs with the force fields, or is it,
Yes. All right. So this is very interesting, because we can retrofit it. If we need to bring in a bigger crew to take down a perp.
Right.
And we need more muscle. If they got people on hand, we can swap out some of those cells for some more crew seats and some more OA team and some more hazard team.
Right, like retrofit or
yes. So that's the main point with our shuttlecraft. If we need it on medical, like I was telling you earlier, we got Dr. McCoy's knowledge, and we could swap in a medical bay on the fly really quick.
Nice.
Which makes us a versatile vessel for the situation we are handling.
Now, is it just digital kind of logs and sort of information?
No. Everything's hard copy. Everything's written. Not everything's digital. We have to have both.
Right, but I'm saying, did McCoy ever visit the vessel to actually, supervise anything about it?
McCoy hasn't, but someone who served under him actually did.
Cool.
And it all goes through. It's all meticulous. It's all.
The ones I know of
the same. It's all uniform is the word I was looking for.
The two pros.
So there's no oddball. Everything is up to standard. If it's swapped in, it's double checked and triple checked by engineers and the professionals in the medical bay. If they're swapping in medical gear, and everything is top notch by the time we leave dock.
Great. And offhand, I know there's Nurse Christine Chappell and Dr. Boma. I'm saying those are the two. Yeah, those are the two main medical personnel and professionals that work with Dr. McCoy. So that's cool.
Yes.
Talk about top notch. Talk about,
I didn't have a lot of time to shoot the BS with them when they were here. It was kind of by the book and by business. I was able to get in a few kind words. They gave some to me, and we went on our separate paths.
Right.
But hopefully, I can meet them again in a more de-escalated climate. But the problem with the Klingons is something that is kind of has all my attention at the moment, and most of Starfleet's.
Right. And I never, the show, I never like to traffic in gossip, but I do know that Christine Chappell had more than a little hankering and eye on First Officer Spock. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
First Officer Spock has definitely rubbed some people the wrong way, but if you actually sit and listen to what that Vulcan has to say,
and get to know him, and really,
you get to know him. Somewhere in there is a personality. I think Kirk brought that out, and I'm determined also to find it.
I like that. You tell you, and I've been begging him to come on. Never does.
No, he likes to keep to himself.
Hello, Spock.
He doesn't like the attention, believe it or not. He's a guy that keeps to himself. He'll speak up when he thinks he needs to say something, but otherwise he'll just let you do your job and not really interject or get involved.
That's it. And
he only speaks when he's got something to say.
That's it.
It's quite a respectable way to conduct yourself.
Yeah. And I'm sure but some viewers might forget that Mr. Spock is half human. He's not all Vulcan.
He's half human.
He's got the foibles like we do. Yeah, he's got the emotion. I mean, he controls them. He's got his meditation techniques, his Vulcan techniques.
He does.
But, a little bit more emotional than the regular standard Vulcan. He's got to be. But he won't admit it.
He's got an immaculate career.
He does. I think it's like I remember that one. Remember there was that hearing. It was with, of course, the said. You remember the Christopher Pike incident. And
yeah.
I remember they had to read at that inquest. They had to read his whole career, all his accolades. And the computer was like star cluster with that. I was like, whoa! I had no clue. Yeah.
That was a very bad Elcar's impression, by the way.
No, my God. I apologize. Yeah,
you're gonna lose points for that, for talking crap about my ship's computer.
I'm gonna do it again. Now you got me ready. Working. Star Clark.
Yeah.
You know that the same woman was used for every incarnation of every Starfleet computer. Her name.
Did you know the first iteration of the Elcar's system used to respond to voice command, and it would always think it was hearing you, and it would ask you, and normally it would hear it wrong. So what they did was make it to where you had to hit a button to speak to the Elcars first, so it wouldn't interrupt the captain during a red alert or stuff like that.
Right, like a speakerphone or
exactly. You didn't want it always chiming in because sometimes it wouldn't get the information correct.
I mean, you
little bugs and flaws in the system that way.
You're spouting BS. What malarkey?
I know. Believe it or not, technology needs to be worked on as well, not just ship maintenance.
Yeah, like, you look at those ancient, I'm a bit of a history buff. You look at the ancient AI, and one of the first popular ones was that Alexa thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And it was great because you would always say, you had to say that name.
I wonder if that's where they got the idea for it.
You know what? It's very.
I might have to look through some logs.
Very.
I got some time coming up, some leave that I might just do that. Brush up on a little bit of that AI history.
Because I've gone to the museum and there's a lot of Alexas there. They're kind of cool. Very, very quaint. Very primitive by our standards, of course, but pretty neat. They still work. It's amazing that they still work.
Yeah. But, they do great.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, what's really interesting. When you think about it, don't get me wrong. I mean, Starfleet intelligence, if you're listening, all the advanced stuff.
They're always listening.
That's a given. But I'm saying everything's great today. But in a way, the dumber or slower AI was like, you could gauge it better. Again,
we needed it to have the intelligence to understand what was going on, but also have the intelligence to know not to interrupt us when we're trying to solve the problem.
Right, and just kind
or
of
interject.
Hello.
Now, so when we hit the button, we can act a direct question, and it can give us some guidelines and parameters off what to go to. It can give us real time statistics for engagements.
Right, like like a walkie-talkie over.
Exactly.
And you go back
it actually can display battle maps.
Oh,
it can display trajectory. It can display and account for enemy projectiles, enemy decisions under pressure.
Who knew?
With
who knew?
With the captain, say if I was engaging to a Klingon vessel, it's predicting off that captain's track record that we have.
His experience, his
what is the likelihood of his next action, and our system automatically accounts for that, so it makes our job that much easier.
Right.
Now, sometimes it gets it wrong, but that wrong information gets stored in the system, and it won't get it wrong a second time, which saves lives, time, money.
Right. It really learns. It really is the AI. Intelligence. It's not just artificial.
It is a necessary thing, but it is also, not the most necessary.
Right. Yeah.
You need the people behind it that have the intelligence. You need the people behind it that can do the work that the AI can't do.
Right. Now, this is a really good question. It's a really great area, which I know it's opening up. Now, I don't know on your vessel, but on all the Constitution classes, and soon the Enterprise class, which I think they're working on, that baby's going to be amazing. But
I've seen what they were working on. It looks sleek. It's going to be impressive.
Nice. And so what's really interesting is they're starting to talk about like retrofitting and changing. They're starting to make these. They call them rec rooms, recreation rooms. Okay. Yeah. And they're all.
Well, we got a rec room. It's got a gym. It's got some communication, so you can communicate directly to Earth without getting an intercepted transmission or wherever. I just use Earth as an example because that's where I'm from.
All right,
but you can contact Vulcan. You can contact Kronos.
Okay, but you're ready to blow your mind, and maybe you're not aware. These new rec rooms, they're putting in holography. Hologram.
Oh, wow, that's a very, very new
little info,
thing.
huh?
How is that gonna work?
Okay,
that stuff might rot your brain. You don't want to sit in front of it too long.
Right, and not only that, but you're interacting with these true simulations that are going to, who knows what they're going to do? What kind of footloose and fancy free shit are they going to do? That's what I want to know. That's what I ask. Yeah.
I'm not much for hologram gaming. I don't think it's a very good use of people's time.
Really? So, why do you think it's too?
I think I don't know. I just think the real thing is much more intense. And I think it might give people some false sense of protection when they're in the real thing. Oh, I've played this in the holodeck. Maybe it's similar. Now, yes, it can be a training technique.
Right.
But as where it stands right now, there what if someone gets hurt? What's going to be the procedures? All this is stuff that needs to be worked out.
It's really interesting.
And the effect on the mind. Right. We can't just have
Right. I hope you're right.
Sorry.
They are always listening, right? What you just said, it's called the rec room or recreation room. It's not called, I believe you said holodeck. Very interesting. Wow. Maybe you just gave them the new name.
Oh, well, I mean.
That came out for your top of your head because that is not the shit I saw, not in the blueprints. They call it rec room. I'm just saying. That's a nice name. I like the name.
It is a nice name. It's got a nice ring to it.
Are you listening? Because anything
I'll put that in my report this evening.
Suggestion.
I'll tell him I got an idea for him. Maybe I'll get some kickback or something. Maybe I'll get a couple extra days leave.
Right, but as you say, they're always listening anyway. They probably already noted it. But what's interesting,
they're generally pretty good at giving credit.
Right. But what's really interesting is that come on, if you're going to have a rec room that's going to actually do something, it would probably be the size of a deck, right? It would be like
and like deck. I said, that opens up great training potential. But if utilized in not the brightest way, or if it's new tech, there is always room that it can be more of a distraction or more of a crutch even for training.
Little sorry and brand here, don't mind me.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
That's how I get through the day, my friend. I told you before when my day was that the plasma conduits were down. It was not nice. The power taps and the phase inducers all down. Wasn't fun for Will. Wasn't fun. So yeah, I needed your engineer to be at the complex here. Yeah. So
I still drink earth water because the replicated water don't taste very good.
really,
So
I hear that, and I
it's got
guess
more of a chlorine taste.
yeah, and I guess
I
they
don't
say
like that.
the mineral content, because I think
Yeah.
what the replicator can make in terms of juggle the minerals or the calcium or whatever, right?
But
Exactly.
out here in deep space, just
Right.
running our sector, we got our we get our food, we get our water, we have our bed,
Mhm.
we get
Your
our mission, and we go.
Your victuals. I like to say victuals.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the old. This is going really back. The old. What was what they call it? The rations. They get some canine rations.
Oh yeah, rations.
Right.
Back in the day when they used to do deep space travel, they used to have it freeze dried.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they actually had to bring their
water.
stuff with them.
And then you put water, right? You just add water.
Yeah, yeah. They would, they tried putting it in time displacement capsules to try to keep it fresh.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah. They went through a whole bunch of things. There was a whole bunch of iterations before the replicator.
I thought I'd blow your mind a bit with some of the news. I had no idea they did temporal displacement. God, that's cool.
No, sir. I went to the academy and they teach there.
Yeah, but those come on.
They don't just run around and do nothing.
I mean, I don't know if that's truly top secret. I've never heard of that. Very cool.
Well, yeah. I mean, they were experimenting on that because when they had to do deep space travel, they also had to alternate crews out because people were aging and they didn't have, warp 3 at that point.
Is that
so? It took longer to get to places.
If I don't go on a transport that's even warp 4 or 5, I'm like, hello, snail.
Can you imagine what they'd think 1,000 years ago?
Oh,
about where we are now.
I mean,
they never would have saw this coming.
It wasn't even quarter impulse, I think, right? It was barely quarter impulse.
Barely.
What the hell?
It was something to celebrate when they left the atmosphere of Earth.
Right. To go to the moon, it would probably take like 3 days or something. Right?
Some ridiculous amount of time.
Wow. How did they?
And now we can get to here in Kronos in the main fleet in under 6 minutes.
Oh, it's incredible. And Vulcan. Now Vulcan's pretty right. Vulcan's farther. Right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Isn't Vulcan a little farther? So yeah.
Well, we're also based in the neutral zone.
Right.
So I was using my perspective a little bit.
Right. You got that. Yeah. But it's just fascinating what you've been bringing me, Captain. And I want to thank you for what's the word? The report or the briefing. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this is just a little more a community goodwill. It keeps me honest, letting the press know what's going on, what we're doing, how the diplomacy's going.
Mm-hmm. But now
keeping the galaxy safe, if you will.
Very good. And now I got to do the reverse process because I know you got time. Talk about temporal chronological. So I'm going to say transport again, and we're going to say goodbye. You can come back anytime.
I really appreciate that.
All right. So anyway, live long and prosper. Energize.
Live long and prosper.
Great. This is fucking awesome. You did really good. I fucking love it. So, guys, this was so fun. I hope you guys liked it too. We did a nice little role play here. And for our remaining minutes, we don't have much remaining here, but I'd love to know your, maybe not your favorite, but just give me a rundown of some of your favorites or what you like about fan films. Because let's say that you're working on a fan film. So you can talk about that. And just
all right. Well, I am working on a fan film. It's still in very early production. I'm still in writing and getting all the scenes coordinated.
The Starfleet ducks in a row.
Yeah. I'm making sure everything. There's no continuity errors.
Great.
I can do what I'm trying to do separate from the main name, but still have some little member berries for people who have watched that kind of stuff.
Sure. And I tell you, look, I mean, obviously everyone's been watching you for how long now? Great look.
Oh yeah. I got that Max Payne fan film up that I'm really proud of.
Right, but that shirt to me is one of the better ones. I've seen a lot.
Absolutely.
Nice. It's really nice.
Now I gotta find my beret because my military beret, it's a black beret.
Yeah.
And what I
would have
got,
liked it. I would have liked it, but
dude, I know I just couldn't
Right.
find it right now. But I
Yeah.
got this to put on the black beret
Nice.
over where my unit
Nice.
patch would go, and that's going to look slick because
Right.
it's the same as this. And I actually got these from the collector's edition,
Great.
for Star Trek Online.
So let me ask: are they all the same length? Are you going to be like doing a 5, 10, 15 minute? You're not
Man,
sure,
I'm really not that far ahead yet. Right now, I'm just
Yeah.
trying to get the first one off the ground, and
Let's
like,
get it all settled. And
so I have to coordinate with other people on this.
Right.
So, in this economy with gas going up,
Sure.
and people got families,
Yeah.
and this is a fan project, so it's really it relies
Yeah.
on people coordinating and me
Yeah.
being lenient to where it's just going to come as a group project.
Really, and we really at this time with the gas going up, you really wish we had the what's it called, the dilithium crystals, right?
Yeah, I wish I had a transporter to just transport them over here.
Yeah. Well, was it the mark, the matter anti?
But regardless, even if the main project don't get off the ground quite so quick, there will be little projects I will be putting out.
Nice.
Little Star Trek things, maybe just with me in them, so they can be accountable, building just that character.
Good. And now again, I'm looking at the time here, so a couple minutes. But so what can you pick? And it's okay if you can't pick one, or if you want to, but can you pick one or two fan films that you admire over the years, or one? Yeah, fine.
Yeah, I would say that old Star Trek. What we were talking about it earlier, the Star Trek.
Star Trek Continues.
Star Trek Continues. There we go. It's something I haven't seen, but I watched a documentary on it.
It's awesome.
And they just rebuilt it one for one.
It's so good.
So that's so impressive to me. It's the main source of my inspiration. Now, I did not like that Paramount shut that down, which is why I'm going a different direction with the police thing.
Right.
I make alterations to the uniform. Right. It's not really Starfleet. It's either it's Fleet Patrol or Star Patrol. It's going to be kind of a well, even William Shatner. He did T.J. Hooker back in the day, which was a cop show as well as Star Trek. So it could kind of be a blend of those two things. Not but Kirk, but like Star Trek. But what it would be if you were a cop in Starfleet.
Yeah, again, literally a minute and a half. So what I'm going to say is one of my favorite, and it was the very first episode of Star Trek Continues. It's called Pilgrim of Eternity, and it's a direct sequel to the original series called Who Mourns for Adonis. It's fucking amazing, people.
It's a great name, too. Who Mourns for Adonis is a sick thing to say.
It's amazing, and they bring Michael Forrest, I believe his name, bring him back. He reprises the role as Apollo. It's sweet. You got to seek it out. I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube. All right, people, this was fun. And we will definitely have Mr. or I should say Captain Stan Houston back. Sorry. And of course,
no, that's fine. That's fine.
All right, my friends. Have a great one. Live long and prosper. See you
All
soon.
right. Ending transmission.